to Season 2 of TuneInTiki.
And we're kicking off Season 2 today with our friend Zach Marsh.
All the way from the tropical island of Wisconsin.
Hi, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
Aloha. I am Zach from Southpaw Barber Shop. Welcome to TuneInTiki.
So we're going to jump right into it, and we just want to start off by asking you some questions. The first one is going to be, what initially drew you to tiki culture?
I think for me, aside from friends that were big influences, like Pete Blackout from the Black Lagoon Room and his wife Katie, my good buddy Sean, they both have stellar home tiki bars. And Pete, as you guys know, I believe, is the Black Lagoon Room online.
Yeah.
So he sells a lot of cool stuff. He's actually the guy that designed my logos and some merch
Oh,
for me.
wow.
But aside from that, the escapism is probably like the main part of what drew me into the tiki. The music is rad too. I like the decor, everything. Hawaiian shirts, like the retro style is more my vibe. But yeah, I like the escapism vibe, like, you know, with COVID now gone, if you will, like that has passed. It was a good escape to get out of that funk.
Yeah, definitely. And you got in right at the right time where everyone really needed some escapisms, because you just got into tiki, right?
Yeah, so I actually built my home tiki bar in 2019. So when the shutdown happened and I couldn't work for 10 weeks doing my barbering, I unfortunately probably drank too much and too often in my home tiki bar. So it was a blessing and a curse, but it is what it is.
So many people built home bars. I think having that time just to, like, you know, focus and like build these new hobbies is so awesome too, you know, just because it's kind of like a little break.
Yeah, it fostered a lot of creativity that normally we would not have had the time to even explore. So that was cool.
Right. Yeah, like I said, it was a blessing and a curse, right? None of us really wanted to shut down, but I think it allowed us to kind of slow down for a minute and enjoy life in a weird way, honestly, because we were forced to.
Right. So what made you integrate tiki into a barber shop? Were you already a barber?
Yeah, so I've been a barber since 2016. Before that, I was actually a mechanic for Hyundai for 11 years. I just really like the tiki escapism vibe. It's hard to not relax and have fun in an environment like this. So with the barbershop vibe, I wanted, you know, I wanted guys or even some girls and, you know, whoever that comes to me, I wanted them to have a spot to like really relax. And so I kind of knew fairly quickly once I got into tiki that at some point I wanted to like filter my shop or rebrand or however you want to word it into like a full tiki barber shop. And I'm almost positive. I mean, I wouldn't want to bet $1,000 on it, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably the only full tiki barber shop in America.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Yeah, we agree.
Probably ever. So yeah, it's pretty rad, and I do love it. And everybody that comes here, even if they don't love tiki, they love the vibe. Ask about stuff. I probably turn more people on to rum than they would like.
It's an introductory course.
Yeah. It's nice to have people come in and just enjoy it. So.
Right. I can't believe you've only been doing this since 2016. We watch all of your, like, we see the transformation pictures, and it's really cool how you can just completely make someone look different. Like,
right.
Clean cut, professional. Like, it just changes someone's entire appearance and vibe.
Yeah, some of the guys that come to me are definitely very shaggy with big beards, and I have a heavy handful of people. Yeah, heavy handful of people that just kind of, you know, they only come in twice a year. So they'll like literally get a nice fresh cut and clean beard or full shave, and then they just let that grow out for 6 months, and then they come back looking like Grizzly Adams. But I like that because it's a more stark comparison of the before after, as opposed to the guys that come every 4 to 6 to 8 weeks. Right. Which I appreciate all of them, but yeah, it's nice to see a good transformation. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So getting back to tiki and tiki culture, in your opinion, what are the essential elements that make a great tiki bar experience?
The word I like to say is like it has to hit on all cylinders. I'm a hot rod guy, but like, so yeah, it has to have good music, obviously a good aesthetic, good decor, good drinks. Like definitely, yeah. That's kind of for me it. Plus service. Like if you go somewhere, they can be playing the best music, have the best decor and the best drinks, and if somebody's serving you as a total turd, it
Right.
doesn't make it fun. So yeah, like it has to be like, in my opinion, the perfect scenario is all that. Service is good, drinks are good. If there's food there, the food's good.
Yeah.
The whole vibe of all of it, in my opinion. So most of the tiki bars that I've been to, commercial and home, I mean, pretty much all of them, they're all rad. The people are cool. I mean, that's one of the things I really like about this, like, subculture or whatever you want to call it. It's
Mhm.
the people are very nice and friendly, and I think we're all into the same stuff. I mean, I'm a history buff. I like all the history behind all the tiki stuff, and it's old. It's really old, and it's celebrating so many cultures. It's awesome.
Yeah, I can see how hot rods would tie in with this and lead you down that path because it's very like escapist and you get interested in the history of it all. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yep,
So, especially since you're from a whole different region of the country,
yeah.
we want to know how you see Tiki evolving over the next few years. Like, what changes do you think will occur throughout Tiki culture, Tiki bars? Any changes you would like to see occur?
I mean, for me specifically here in Milwaukee and the Midwest, personally believe tiki goes best here because like it's not tropical. You
Right.
definitely have long winters and you need that escapism. There's no palm trees.
Yeah.
But like so more, locally, I hope to see it grow a ton. I've talked to a small group of people about trying to come up with some sort of tiki event in this general area.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
would be the
we
perfect spot for it.
yeah, I mean, and we have cool, venues, and we have a lot of people who are into tiki in this area. But aside from that, I think tiki is just growing in general because I feel like as the younger generation, even younger than me and you guys, as people age, I think they want it more.
Oh
Because I
yeah.
don't know about you, but when I was younger, I could give two shits about you know, what my
Exactly.
parents and grandparents might have thought was cool back in the day. I mean,
Mhm.
within reason, I've always been somebody who was into supper clubs and cool,
Okay.
like, ambiance and atmosphere type of places to eat. Or, as a kid, getting a kitty cocktail at a bar was always awesome. So, like, I've always been into, like, embellishing the heck out of a drink.
Yeah, it like
So,
stair stepped you up to tiki life.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think personally Tiki's, just gonna keep going upward. And I don't know. I don't know if we're in the third or fourth phase of Tiki. I really don't care. We're in a cool phase nonetheless, and I'm just enjoying it and embracing it and enjoying all the people I get to meet and the different spots I get to go to. I mean, home tiki bars I've been invited to across the country already. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we definitely have to come check out your bar sometime.
Yes, for sure. And the shop.
And the shop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I won't cut your hair because I probably won't do a good job on the long lady's hair.
Good pretend. It's okay.
We would trust you.
Yeah,
So, what's your favorite tiki cocktail?
That's a good
that's a
one. We're
hard
drinking
one.
Mai Tais.
Yeah, that's a hard one because I definitely love a good Mai Tai. I think
Mhm,
anytime I go to a home bar or a commercial bar, the one quintessential drink is a Mai Tai. You
mhm.
kinda, I don't wanna use the word judge somebody or their bar because that sounds harshly, but you definitely wanna see how everybody does a Mai Tai.
Yeah,
So Mai Tai is definitely up there. I like a good zombie and a good jet pilot. I really like a jungle bird.
Me too. Jungle
Um,
Bird. I always order a Jungle Bird. Extra Campari.
yeah, I used to
mhm.
hate Campari. There's a really rad spot I used to serve at called Bryant's Cocktail Lounge. It's been around since 1938 here in Milwaukee. Highly
Wow.
recommend you guys check it out. Yeah, it's a rad spot and they do some tiki drinks and stuff. But anyway, when I worked there, we would do shift drinks of Campari and I used to hate Campari.
Yeah.
I now really enjoy Campari and I could easily do a shot of Campari by itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, so I kind of like the classics. I mean, I'm willing to try anything because
Yeah.
I'm definitely a creature of habit. I like to do what I do and like what I like, but I try to go outside of my comfort zone as much as possible and try new stuff. Yeah. So there's a lot of Malort drinks that are in Tiki now where it's not just a shot of Malort. There's Malort in the drink, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Malort is a very interesting liqueur because it's almost like a rite of passage thing. It's an acquired taste for sure, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I do personally love that a lot of these like liqueurs are very. It's like a lot of bitterness and a lot of funkiness.
Yeah, and I agree with what you said about the Mai Tai, like ordering one as a test everywhere you go. Not to judge it, but just to see what it's like everywhere because they're always different. And let's
Because everybody's doing it. Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's doing it different.
So like,
Yeah.
you know, you meet these people that are like 20, 21, you know, just they went to their first tiki bar at like their 21st birthday or whatever, and they're just
That'd
like,
be a cool 21st birthday.
yeah. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I love this place. This must be the only one in the country. And then you're like, no, there's not. There's a whole world. And then you're like, what?
Yes. So when my son turned 21, my oldest, we have 2 boys, my wife and I, my oldest turned 21 this past year. We took him to the local place, Foundation Tiki Bar, which is, in my opinion, probably the best one in our area in Milwaukee. And it's the oldest from 2003, probably. But for starters, I had him do a shot of Malort.
Yeah.
And we got him on the Malort, train. But and then he had, I think, a Mai Tai or whatever.
Coming in hot, huh?
Yeah. It's a rite of passage. I mean, honestly, I used to hate Malort, and it was definitely a joke. You get people to try it by saying it's really good. You gotta try it, and watch their faces. They drank it. But yeah, so that was his rite of passage. Was like at 21, going to Foundation on his 21st birthday. I think it's cool because, well, and he's kind of like me. He likes the old school stuff, kind of an old soul. He likes old vintage Hawaiian shirts, so I'll gift him some for his birthday and whatnot. And he really gets into it, not as much as I do, but he appreciates it already at 21, which is really cool.
If we want to keep doing this, we all have to like band together to educate the younger guys. Like, hey, come on in. We'll show you everything. Like, we love it so much. Yeah. We want you to love it. So let's show you everything,
Like what you're doing when people get their haircut and you're just like, look at this mug.
Right. Well, the younger generation can teach us stuff too, because I think they're the ones that are trying to innovate newer craft cocktails and bringing different things into cocktails nowadays. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for that. I think if somebody's younger and wants to be into this, why not, and embrace it as the older generation.
The water sign in Tiki Land.
Right, yeah. Come on in, here's my Mai Tai.
Well, water is not fine at the Hukilau at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Probably don't go in there. Go in the ocean.
Yeah.
So let's talk about like your decor. So in the barbershop or in your home tiki bar, what's your favorite piece of decor that you have?
We brought a special one from the barbershop.
I have a lot of favorites for a lot of sentimental reasons and a lot of favorites for other reasons. Mm-hmm. My dad and his girlfriend are retired, and they do a lot of rummage sales and estate sales. And at the barbershop here and at my home bar, they found me a ton of stuff. Just 3 days ago, they dropped off a peacock chair, so I finally have my own peacock chair.
Okay.
They found for $20.
Why are you not sitting in this chair for this interview?
Because it's at the house in the garage right now. I have to spray it down and re-shellac it or whatever. But yeah, I like the old stuff. So that peacock chair is pretty rad. I had a carving that's on the other side of the camera that Vic Hernandez did.
Super talented.
He's extremely talented. So that was kind of a gift to myself for this past year for my birthday. So that's in the shop, and I really like that. Another carver locally, Dave Hansen, did some really cool stuff. Totems that are now in my home bar. I like that because I like to support local artists. I mean, I like art in general, so I'm willing to and love to support anybody, but that's why I like, if the local stuff is even more awesome because I'm supporting it super locally. Yeah, I mean, I have some newer Whitco pieces here. I found my first old Whitco piece. It's not full on Tiki. It's more Viking, and that's in my guest bedroom at the house. That's probably from the late 60s, early 70s. behind me, that guy right there is the Makahiki mask that they did last year. Yeah, so I have that, and then I have another piece hanging in the other corner. That's the one with the globe in front of the glass there.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
It's kind of like a little octopus squid guy. But yeah, so I have a lot of pieces. It's probably too hard to narrow down one or two.
Yeah, well, you have some good finds there, and those are really good relatives that they just like go antiquing into estate sales and show up with gifts.
Yeah,
That
they're
sounds awesome.
they're awesome. They find me a lot of cool stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So you said earlier you were like really into the history aspect of Tiki and you kind of are into historical things in general. Is there a specific like part of Tiki culture, like one little tidbit of information that you've found particularly fascinating, or is there just like in general you like all the history?
I mean, in general, I like all the history, but I definitely like the origin of what we know to be Tiki with Don the Beachcomber. I think that guy obviously was a pioneer. Aside from the history, the guy was a true craft cocktail connoisseur before anybody really knew or thought of that word craft cocktail. Because traditional Tiki drinks are fairly complex and very well balanced and in my opinion very delicious. But aside from that, like I said earlier, like how he took all his travels being somewhat of a runner with his grandfather, all these different cultures that we wouldn't have been able to see before the jet age, like going to Hawaii or wherever, and kind of just culminated them into a spot. Truthfully, before even like having actual tikis themselves in there, just finding the like all the beachcomber stuff, whether it's the glass float, fish nets and stuff, but then the cultures that it, embodies, which is weird because there's, I guess, a small group of people that think there's cultural appropriation there. And I would politely beg to differ because it's celebrating cultures, it's celebrating the art, it's celebrating uniqueness and diversity. It's not poking fun of or making fun of. So I enjoy that. I enjoy that aspect of the history of Tiki is all those cultures that we kind of all loosely know about or very in-depthly know about.
Yeah, it's actually really funny you bring that up because on this season of TuneInTiki, we're going to be, I didn't want to touch appropriation, but we decided to talk about it because the question is it appropriation or is it appreciation?
Which we know our answer.
I know our answer.
Yeah. I mean, could there be somebody out there who's not appreciating it, more mocking it? Maybe, but I think for most of us in the Tiki, world, that's why we like it, is because it celebrates the diversity and you get to know about all these different cultures. I mean, even before Tiki, I got into, the weird, like the shrunken heads and like the weird stuff, Pete and Katie, they have a whole room of kind of fun, funky stuff like Fiji mermaids and stuff. But like, shrunken heads from Ecuador and parts of Peru that have definitely kind of assimilated or gotten into Tiki as well. That stuff's awesome. And it's definitely scary in a way because, like what it started as was, the tribes like feuding each other, killing each other, shrinking each other's heads and, posting it to be like, don't come here because this will happen to you. I mean, it's intriguing. It's scary. It's that adventure, I think, that a lot of us enjoy and we seek in our lives.
Yeah, I think you really would have enjoyed Hukilau because I went to it was called War on Tiki, and it was like a World War II, basically a documentary that we watched, and it had a bunch of images. It was presented by Beach Bum Berry, but he was talking about Don the Beachcomber's stint in the military and how they were making drinks in their helmets on the battlefield and how they were making torpedo juice with actual torpedoes, and they would pass out the drink, obviously not the original, but like a very similar style of drink as what they were drinking in the military in that era. And they show a picture of this is what the bomber jet looked like, and it had like this beautiful girl wearing leopard print drinking a Mai Tai on it, just painted on the side of the plane. So those were all really cool images to see. And like in history books, we don't really see like the soldiers getting hammered. Like, that's not one of the things that we learn about. But obviously, they're humans and they're trying to escape and get away from their reality. So it was really an interesting take, and it just sounds like something you would have enjoyed.
Oh yeah, I would have thoroughly enjoyed that. So the only event I've been to is the Makahiki last year. I had to go to more for sure, but they had a Wicco like symposium or seminar
Yeah.
from Ken and Heather. So yeah, anytime I
Oh,
can learn
yeah.
about anything at a Tiki event, I'm all for it. Trust me, if I could go to all the Tiki events, financially afford it, and have the time off of
Right.
work, I would.
The
I
same
would
for
love
us.
to go to all of
We all
them,
need to win the
but
lottery. I mean,
yeah, I'm
yeah.
a one-chair barber shop inside my sister's salon, so I don't have anybody making money for me when I'm not here. So it's
Yeah.
hard for me to find time to get away. So it sucks, but I'm hoping to make Hoopy Loud for sure when the Maikai's back open, and I definitely want to do the San Diego
Tiki
Tiki
Oasis.
Oasis.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
never been to that one.
I was there last year. Yeah. So I have a question about the barbershop. So
Yeah.
when someone comes into the shop and they're like, know nothing about Tiki, how does that go with someone who's like totally has no clue what's going on and they walk into this place and they're like, okay, like, I really need a haircut. What's up?
I don't know. I feel like when somebody like that comes in, like you can kind of sense that they're maybe in awe in a good way, or
Yeah.
like they're kind of like puzzled, like, this is, cool but weird. I definitely jump in and be like, yeah, man, I obviously love Tiki. And that's
Yeah.
kind of the icebreaker. And they're like, yeah, like,
you're like,
I
what's
thought you just
Tiki?
liked Hawaii or something. And I'm like, yeah, man,
Mhm.
it's definitely more than that. But like, and then it snowballs into like anything and everything.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll talk about rum to people a lot. I have a issue of Smuggler's Cove here and at my house. So if somebody's like, well, yeah, man, I'd love to learn how to make a Mai
You
Tai,
have to
I
have
can give
that
them.
book. That's
Yeah. You're like the welcome committee. Like, come join us.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
when they leave your chair, are they like fascinated by Tiki then? And like they're at,
Well, you hope so.
yeah, we hope so.
Yeah. I think most of the people that come in here that don't know anything about it definitely leave obviously knowing more about it. And I think a heavy handful of them, whether they knew about it to start off a little bit or a lot or not at all, they definitely leave well more informed, or a lot more informed, I should say.
Yeah.
And they usually come back. And I just
That's
posted
good.
a photo of this with my client in the chair, him and I doing the shaka. But like, I love it when they come in wearing aloha wear, whether it's a
Yeah.
Hawaiian shirt or like a whole on like whole vibe get up, or just like a tiki type t-shirt. And I've noticed a lot of my guys when they travel now, they're like, hey man, I'm going to Cincinnati, are there any cool tiki bars there? And if I don't know of it, I'll look it up with them and be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, man, you gotta check out this spot, or it's not in
Right.
Cincinnati, but go here. So yeah, a lot more people that I know that come to me. I think I'm definitely kind of getting them into it.
Thanks for giving us an awesome interview and showing us some of your cool stuff. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you guys. And like I said, if you're ever in the area, check out the barbershop. You're more than welcome to come to the Tiki Bar at the house. And
Okay.
in closing, my buddy Keith at Lotu Lounge is making me swizzles to sell.
Yes.
So I'll have these for sale soon. I have a new Mai Tai glass coming out really soon with the logo.
Yeah.
Kind of old school Trader Vic's style, but with my logo. I'll tease some stuff very soon, hopefully in the next day or two on that. And then I also have a really awesome tiki mug, kind of based off of a shirt. I don't know exactly when that's coming out. I'm vending at a local place, Halakahiki, in River Grove, Illinois, in
Okay.
late July. I'm hoping it's available there. And for my clients even sooner. But as I get that stuff, I will tease it online and show you guys.
Share it on Tiki Mug Monday.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for today's interview. It was amazing. We wish you all the best and all the luck and all the business at the barbershop.
So thank you, Zach. It was good talking with you.
And thanks for being the first episode of the new season.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, and thank you, ladies. It was
Alrighty, guys. I think that's the sound of our Mai Tais getting low. What do you think?
Yeah, it's either time to make some more Mai Tais or maybe hit up our local tiki bar.
Ooh. All right. Well, make sure that you subscribe to our Patreon. It's the 1944 Society.
If you know, you know, 1944.
And you can also follow along with us on Instagram and beyond. So wherever you find us, make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Make sure you review and give a rating on whatever podcast platform you're currently listening to. We'd love to know your feedback on everything. And we'll talk to you soon, everybody.
Bye for now.
Stay tuned, everyone.